What's up, guys? Here's a quick and fast how-to on removing your rear wheel bearings with the hub on a 2010 Mazda 3. And like I said in some previous videos, this can be associated install and removal of different model year 2010 Mazda 3 vehicles. But it's pretty simple. It does take a little bit of time, especially if you have a wheel bearing that is rusted on there pretty good. But anyways, you have to remove your rear brakes. So you got to take your rotor off, and then you got to take your caliper and the caliper bracket. You can look those up in other videos on how to do that. But the wheel bearing itself is actually pretty easy. There's actually 4 bolts. There's one here, here, one here, and then one down on the other side. Now I have already taken my wheel bearing off so that this can be a little bit quicker video, but the access to the bolts are actually inside the control arm here. I'll go to the other side and show you guys where they're actually located. And it's 14 millimeter. So if you look down in there, that's where they're located. There's one down there. 2 there. If you can see them all, there's your 4 bolts. And they are very, very easy to get to. I basically just used my DeWalt impact with an extension and a 14 mil swivel. And that's basically how you remove those 4 bolts. Oh, and also there is the ABS. Don't forget to remove the ABS sensor wire there. And then you also have a little star bit bolt. I will tell you what that is in just a second. That will be removed and transferred to the new wheel bearing. Once you get those bolts out, then you can spray some WD-40 or some brake free, and you can hammer away to get the wheel bearing to come out. So basically, I just hammered all around the sides, top, bottom side. I sprayed brake free all around. I mean, you're basically just gonna have to start hammering pretty good. Now, it's not gonna damage anything. These things are exceptionally strong. So you can basically just hammer as hard as you can on these, and eventually the wheel bearing will start popping out like it is here. Now, I've already started it already anyways, so it should just pop out. There is a dust shield that I've already removed. I'm not putting the dust shield back on anyways. So once you start hammering, I use this, I don't know, I think it's a 2.5 pound metal mallet. And basically you just want to hammer on all the sides here, here, up, side. And basically just going to keep hammering and using the brake free, and eventually pop loose. You can also use a hammer, pneumatic hammer if you want. That's what I did on the edges here, and it does work pretty good. But whichever way you go, it's going to be fine. So once you start hammering away, the wheel bearing will eventually start popping out like it is here. Mine are pretty rusty. So I had already removed this one anyways. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to transfer the ABS sensor. It's just a hole now, but the sensor is over here on the new one. And then let's see, the bolt is actually a E7 Torx. And that's what you need to remove that bolt, E7. And then you're going to transfer it over. And basically it's reverse. So another thing to note too, I did use some sandpaper and I sanded down this area pretty good. The inside lip and the flat surface. Obviously this is a 2010, so it's a little rusty, but my car's virtually rust free. I don't know if you can see all that or not, but it's pretty much rust free as you can get for all the parts I replaced. Anyways, I put a little bit of anti-seize on the mating surfaces here, just in case I ever have to replace the wheel bearing again. It'll be a lot easier than on the actual wheel bearing itself, brand new wheel bearing. I put a little bit of red and tacky grease. More grease is better than no grease. So then basically you're just gonna fit your wheel bearing up in here. And as you can tell, the new one just slides in, mainly because of all the rust that has accumulated on the old one here. And then basically, once you get this lined up, you can install your bolts from the back side here. Here's your bolts. I would go ahead and put some anti-seize on these bolts and then install them on the back side. And then once you're done doing the install of your wheel bearing with all 4 bolts, along with the ABS wire sensor and the E7 Torx here, that's it, guys. And then you're going to go ahead and just install your rotor, your caliper bracket, then install your caliper with your pads, and that's essentially it, guys. So hopefully this will help you out a little bit. I had not shown the portion where you have to use your 2.5 pound metal mallet to remove the wheel bearing, but you guys can get the idea. Once you guys start beating on the back side of the hub here, you're pretty much committed, and it will come free. Trust me. Just give it enough force and the wheel bearing will pop out. So mine's a 2010, and I will tell you, these are actually OEM original from 2010. I have never replaced the rear wheel bearings since I bought the car in 2010, and there's 285,000 miles on these wheel bearings. And I'll go ahead, if you guys want to hear them a little bit. Well, you can't really hear them now, but they're actually not that bad. They don't grind as much as you would think 285,000 miles on a set of wheel bearings would sound, but they actually don't sound bad. Obviously, I didn't really care. This was my daily driver, so do what you will, or do what you think with that. But anyways, here's the brand new wheel bearings on currently. So hope this helps you guys on doing your install or removal.